Hello.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm audible. Okay.
Yes, sir. Audible, sir. You're audible, sir.
Good morning, sir. Vidyadhara, sir. Good morning. Please unmute yourself, sir.
Namaste, sir. Good morning.
Yes. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, fine, sir. Fine, sir.
Everything okay?
Yeah, yes, sir.
What's about PCI?
PCI.
Is it completed?
Our college inspection is over, sir.
Okay, then it's okay. Chalo, good. Okay. Now, why I'm asking due to Mantu Patel. If anything required, then we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very recently, we met him, sir, at Tirupati.
He is my student at
Oh,
LMCT.
great, sir. Great.
Okay. So that is in between we two only, not two.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
100%, sir.
And today, sir, I joined as Dean Indrasil University. Indrasil University.
Okay, sir.
It is a Cadila Pharma initiative.
Okay, sir.
So today I joined in the morning as a Dean.
Congrats, sir.
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you. It's a good university and it's a only pharma company university.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
And we have research and other things. Engineering we have already.
It is in Delhi only, sir?
No. It is in Ahmedabad.
Ahmedabad. Okay.
At my village, and the factory is also in Ahmedabad.
Okay. Cadila
Pharma.
Oh, yes, sir. Indrasen.
Indrasil University.
Okay, sir.
Good, sir.
Great to see you, sir.
Yes, we are meeting after so many, I think 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months back. Yes, sir.
I delivered that statistic part.
Yes, sir. We conducted workshop with you.
Yes.
That was a really useful session, sir.
No, it was a preliminary for the PhD and PG students.
Yes, sir.
And generally every year I'm taking that at so many universities, sir.
Oh, okay, sir.
Okay.
In fact, you suggested us a very good topic that time.
Yes,
sir.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Sir, okay, sir. Good morning, sir. Shall we start the session, sir?
Yes, sir. Okay.
So a warm welcome to all the participants for this one-day webinar on intellectual property rights organized by Jaibrol Hanmay Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences Innovation Cell, which is sponsored by Ministry of Education and AICTE New Delhi. So on this occasion, I cordially invite you all for this session. Now I request our principal, sir, Dr. S. Vidyadhara, to give his welcome note on this today's session.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Susi. Warm welcome to all. Very good morning to the learned professors and invitees for this IIC Impact Lecture Series 2. It is very grateful for us to have a learned professor, senior most professor, Dr. L.D. Patil sir. And today, very fortunate that he assumed charge as Dean Indrasen University, Ahmedabad, which is run by Cadila Healthcare Pharma. We are very grateful to you, sir. And also congratulations, sir, for your new assignment in a very prestigious institution run by Cadila Pharma Healthcare. And today, the Innovation Council, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education has kind enough to give us chance to conduct Impact Lecture Series. Already first session we have conducted 2 weeks back, and this is the second session we are going to organize. Under this session 2, under Impact Lectures, we have 2 eminent personalities going to deliver their talk on intellectual properties. One is the most learned and senior most person in pharmacy fraternity, that is none other than Dr. L.D. Patil sir, who is going to deliver a talk on this particular intellectual property. And second afternoon session, we are going to have one more session with Dr. Suryakant Swain, who is going to deliver a talk on the same topic, that is on intellectual property rights. And nowadays, intellectual property rights are having a lot of importance, particularly for the researchers. At present in India, we have lot of young manpower who are going to involve in various activities. Particularly when it comes to our pharma sector, research is the most potential source where we can explore several thoughts and innovations for achieving the best outcome for the global healthcare scenario. In this context, our researchers should focus on several new innovations that are really needed for our welfare of healthcare profession and to come up with several new patents which are really needed to develop certain new molecules. Of course, as of now, India is lagging behind in establishing very good patents for scaling up several new drug molecules at the manufacturing level or at the marketing level. As of now, we are going to get the already patented molecules and we are trying to develop the new prototype product based upon the innovator, and that research is now going on at our India level. And of course, when we can able to develop new drug molecules, the new drug entities, because India is a rich hub of natural resources, and Ministry of Ayush is also highly encouraging the researchers to focus on herbal medication, so that several herbal drug medications are going to come up. So that definitely will explore our Indian continent to move ahead with new drug molecules in the era of natural formulations. So it is the right time for all the young pharma fraternity to deeply involve in research activities and to come out with the real-time patents which are highly needed for the prospectiveness of healthcare arena. With this brief introduction, without making any delay, I would like to give most of the time to get the best information from our learned senior most professor, Dr. L.D. Patil sir, so that with his able and eminent guidance and his valuable talk, we could able to explore some knowledge, and that knowledge can be implemented into our research activities that would definitely help us to move ahead in our pharmaceutical research arena. Thank you, sir, for immediately accepting our invitation and being with us on this August occasion. And also I thank the Ministry of Education Innovation Council for giving us this opportunity to conduct Impact Lecture Series at our institution on the global platform through this online mode of conducting this particular program. Thank you, sir. Over to Sasidhar.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your valuable words on this today's webinar. Now, I take the privilege of introducing our eminent personality for this online webinar. Now, I take the privilege for introducing our L.D. Patil, sir. So, Dr. L.D. Patil, sir, presently working as Dean, Indrasen University, Ahmedabad, and sir also worked as eminent professor in Parul Institute of Pharmacy, Vadodara, and he is also worked as chemist, demonstrator, lecturer at Ware, and also as a professor and principal at CU Shah College of Pharmacy and at LM College of Pharmacy at various levels. Sir also is a recognized research supervisor, and he also worked as a director of research in the Sharda School of Pharmacy, and also as a dean director professor at the CU Shah College of Pharmacy and Research, and principal professor at the SAL Institute of Pharmacy, Ahmedabad. Sir has published more than 131 research publications at various national and international journals, and also presented various papers in so many conferences. And Sir has guided more than 14 PhD students, and at present one PhD student is pursuing his research program under Sir guided. And Sir guided more than 178 MPharm project students under his eminent guideship. And Sir also received so many prestigious awards from various organizations. And also Sir received various grants, research grants like MODROPS, and AACT, RPS, and so many R&D projects from various statutory bodies like AACT and PCI, etc. And also, sir is offered his services at various levels in AACT, PCI, NAC, NBA, and on the UPSC at various selection committees and also various levels. And he also, sir, acted as resource persons for various faculty development programs, staff development training programs, seminars, and workshops. And sir also delivered so many guest lectures at various national and international platforms and webinars and seminars. So with this brief introduction of Professor L.D. Patel, sir, now I sincerely request our guest to deliver his lecture for this session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Principal Sir. Thank you, Professor Sir. Thank you, participants. I'm a teacher and I want to remain a teacher. And today I joined one of the new university in Gujarat. Today, the topic is very good for the researchers, for PG and PhD students. So first of all, I will close my video. Why? Because sometimes it may hindrance the voice. So I'm closing my video. I'm sharing the things. Sir, is it visible?
Yes, sir, visible, sir.
Okay, I'm making full mode.
Yes, sir, is visible, sir.
PPT mode, okay?
Yes, sir, okay, sir.
Can you see all words of the slide, sir?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. It is in full mode, sir, and it is clearly visible, sir.
Okay. Thank you once again to all. Today, I'm going to deliver lecture in the Impact Lecture Series on IPR, which is sanctioned by Ministry of Education and organized by CHIPS Andhra Pradesh. As such, there are so many details in the topics, and within 1.5 hours, we will see some depth of the patent introductory parts as what are the prospective as per Indian scenario that we will see. We will deal with definition and so on. I'm not going into detail of each. Why? Because it will be there at the end. We'll see some part of the patent, some part of the trademark, and some part of the copyright also. Why? Because that is essential to understand at UG and PG levels. My presentations is dedicated to the pharma workers, students, teaching staffs, colleagues, who, while fighting the menace of COVID, sacrificed their life serving mankind in humanity. Om Shanti Shanti. I have taken some content from the website, some research papers, some books. I'm very much thankful to all of them from where I taken there and used there. My purpose is educational for the participants and for the students. Once again, I'm thanking all the contributors to develop my presentations. When we start the patent, we pharmacy peoples or we techno kids do not have understanding of some words in depth which are related with the patents. So we have to explain that and then we have to start the presentations. So what is exclusive? We use that exclusive right. Patents gives exclusive right. So what's exclusive? It is not shared with others. It is not divided with others. It has limited possessions, controls, and use by a single person or group. We use that words almost everywhere. Then what is a novelty? What is a new thing? Every day there is new things. So what is a creative? what is unusual, what is being different in quality, that is novelty. And we use novel, new and novelty words in IP or IPR. Then one of the important word is obvious and non-obvious. So what is obvious? Obvious is which is evident, which is recognized, which is easily understood, and which can be seen. Then what is non-obvious? Which is not evident. It is not recognized. It is not understood and not easily seen. So this obvious word is also at so many places. Then what is tangible and what is intangible? Intangible is not capable being touched. As for example, we can't touch light. We can't touch goodwill. So that is intangible. So patents have these properties. We will see where and how. IPR, intellectual property right, is a general term that it includes, it covers patents, copyright, trademark, industrial designs, and so many things. We are not going into detail of all that, so I'm not speaking here just now. What is a patent? Patent is a government granted, authority granted, exclusive right. And what is exclusive? That we see. Exclusive right or set of some specified right. To whom? To an inventor or to a person who claim it, who claim to be the true and first inventor. For what? To make use, to sell, and to make available to others. And what is the term? With a specified terms. What is the term or duration? That we'll see somewhere. And it is granted for novelties, some new criteria is defined by law. It's a process which is new, or it is for the process or for method which is new. If we are using same process which was used by others, that is not the novelty or that's not the new. If we have a process and we find a new use, new usefulness, then it's okay and it should be non-obvious. It should be original, and if it is a design, it should be an ornamental design of an article which is to be manufactured. Why we need patent? To protect ourselves, to prevent others. So patent law aims directly and indirectly to initiate the innovations and exploration of the new things by researchers or by inventor. For what? For public benefit, for public interest. It should not be of without interest or without applicability. It should have some public applicability, use or benefit. It falls in the IP category, and copyright and trades are also included with it. Patent is a personal property. So it can be sold, it can be assigned, it can be transferred as deemed by its inventor or owner. If there is any disputes, government authority are the mediators and they investigate the infringement and grant the penalty to the real persons. In all, patent is a commercial tool, it's a technical tools, and it's a legal tool nowadays. Before 100 years, it was, but it was not a commercial, it was not a technical, and it was not legal somewhere. Aim of the patent law is to encourage scientific research, to encourage and to innovate new technologies, new industrial applications, programs, etc., etc. And it is a grant of monopoly to the inventor by authorities or by patent office. What rights the patent owner is granted? A patent is a statutory right. It's a statutory right granted by the authorities for his invention or her invention. It is intangible right which has no physical existence and say. So that is intangible. Okay, I'm not going into this part. Why? Because there are some sections in the initials. We have section number 47, then we have section number 83 and 92, and there are some amendments time by time. Latest in 2005 also there are some amendments, and that amendments is for the benefit of the inventor as well as for the benefit of the public. So it is for the public health. In short, why patent is required? To protect the new research and to develop new research for the product or for the process, or it may be combination of both also. To prevent others from copying the invention and exploring its use in a commercial way, to make money from that indirectly. To license, to get license for the invention or selling to others and generating some revenues for new research work. So that's also aim in all. To enjoy exclusive right over the period for the invention and to increase the reputations, to increase the value of the person or the company or the team which is involved. So in all, it is a right given by proper authority to the inventor or to the team. So I request all PG and PhD students that have some concepts of innovation in your work. Add one feather of innovation, at least one feather, and claim for patent and then publish it. If we publish it, then the rights are explored. If we first publish it and then patent it, if we make it in public by presentation or publications, then we lose the right of patenting. So first have an idea, try to get patent using help of your guide, your institutes or government authority. Nowadays, they grant the patent fee also to the students, to the researcher. But before that, our work is of which type or which area it covers. And for that, we have to understand the type of the patents. There are basically 4 types of the patent. First is plant variety patent. Second is plant patent. Third is design patent. And fourth is utility patent. Generally, most of the patents, 90% patents are utility patents. So I reverse the order. Utility patents are the most common patent, and it is awarded, it is granted to an invention to new things, to the improvement in the methodology or in a product that applied for public good or public welfare. And it has some economical sound senses or economical viability. If patent has no viability financially, then it is useless. So if we see the patent applicability, it will be zero. So it is useless. And it is no need to have that things. Then design patents. It's a non-utility patents and awarded to what? To new, original, ornamental design or in an article of manufacture or an object of the manufacturer. Plant patents, it is for the plants that can be reproduced asexually by some method, by some novelty. If we prepare or we have a novel hybridization of the plant, it can be patented. And then some plant variety, it's a novel variety of sexually produced plant. So there some techniques will be required. So in all, we have UP, DP, PP, and PV. PP is a plant patent, PV is a plant variety patent, DP is a design patent, and UP is a utility patents. There are some specific type of the patents also that we'll see somewhere. So what's a utility patent? In last year, 2021, there are more than 375,000 patents granted by US Patent Authority. And out of that, 339,000 were utility patents. So it's a 90%. So most of the patents are utility patents. So it's important to understand it and how to do it, how to achieve it. So utility patent is for an innovation issued for a new useful process, new machine, for manufactured items, for combination or composition of the matters or subjects or materials, or any improvement by some differences, deviation in the above. So it's a wider term. It can be almost applied to everywhere other than the design and copyright. The patent grant allows the patentee, the patent owner, the exclusive right, only right to him or his team or his legal advisor. If he intend, exclusive right that prevents others from using, making or selling the invention for the period of 20 years. So duration is 20 years from the date of application filing, not from the approval, from the date of application filing. Generally, approval takes 1.5 years in India. Somewhere it takes 6 months. So total period is 20 years. These are the number of patents in 2021 filed in India. So 66,000. So as compared to the total of US, 66,000, it's around about 1/4. It is less. So as sir has told that we are beginning, our government authority and government ministry and everyone are trying their best to have more patents, and for that they are granting the facilities, they are granting the grants also. They are approving some authorities which can help in that way. Government is trying their best. But basically, we, means at academic level or at industrial level, we need some in-depth awareness of that. One more thing, that worldwide in 2021, 6,000 utility patents granted to a person of Japan origin, a single person or group of that person. Similarly, in Australia, around about 4,700 in US. So if you see the 6,033 number of patents till 2021 by one person, as compared to 66,000 Indian patents in year 2020 and up till 2020 by 1%, 1/10 of that. So people are doing and trying to achieve new things. Please, my request to the students, researchers, have the concepts, be aware, and have so many patents under your name, on your name, with your team or with your organizations. Have that things. My best wishes to all of them. Now, what are the silent features of utility patents? The patentee has to remit some mandatory fees periodically for patent maintenance. After 20 years, if we need renewal or extension of that renewal, we have to pay some fees. If we don't pay within that time, we will not get the patents. The length of utility is 17 years in some countries before 1995, but after that, it is almost 20 years after filing the applications, from the date of filing the application. So 20-year period is the duration period worldwide. It was 17 years in some countries before 1995, like France and so many people, so many countries. The term of patent can be extended under some circumstances with some certain conditions. So authority may impose some conditions. So it is in their hand. If it is for public interest and if it is not allowable, then they will not renew it. The inventor applies for the patent. There are some exemptions by the authorities. So I think that will not be required for the beginner of the study, but when we file a patent, definitely we have to see that points. Then how to have utility patents? What are the important guiding points for a researcher? Ensure that the idea on which you work is not a law of nature. If it is a law of nature, then it cannot be patented. So law of nature should not be there. Second, if it is a literally dramatic, musical, or artistic work, it can be protected by copyright only, not by patent. Not by patent. So we have to decide the type of the work, whether it is that or utility. On that we achieve the copyright patent protection or patent protections. So you have to assure that your work is on which way. Why? Because both are different. Patent is a different and copyright is some different part. Ensure that your work idea has useful purpose, has useful applicability, or it can be implemented in real, and it can be described fully, thoroughly. It should not be hypothetical. It should not be half-hearted also. So if it is adapted, it cannot be. And one of the important that it must have useful purpose, some proper applicability for public or some mass. Ensure that the idea is novel, non-obvious. What is obvious that we see? Non-immoral means it should be immoral or it should not be illegal. So there should be legality, there should be novelty, there should be morality, and so on. Okay, so that's the important thing. Satisfy yourself, understand yourselves that it is possible for a competent peer to make the item and use it also. You can prepare only, that's not the criteria. Everyone should prepare. Your competitor can prepare it. If you sell it and if he is not able to prepare it, it is useless. So have thorough understanding of the idea that whether it is or it can be made by others, what and how I'm making that can be made by others. That is one of the important point. Then what is a design patent? It is issued for original ornamental design of an article of manufacture. It grants, so this is not a simple patent, it's a design patent. It grants the exclusive right decided by the design patent to the inventor or to the owner that will prevent others from making, using. So this make, use and sell will be everywhere in patent, design patent, copyrights everywhere. But here period is 14 years. There it is 20 years from the date of applications. Here 14 years from the grant of the design patent. What is definition? I'm not going into detail. Why? Because we have to complete so many things. But you can read it, and I'm only explaining the USPU definitions. A design patent of visual ornamental characteristics. See visual words, ornamental characteristics embedded or applied to the article of to be manufactured or manufactured. So there should be characteristics, but that should be visual. It should not be hypothetical. If it is seen by me and not by others, it is useless. A design of surface orientations must surface orientation. See the word surface. If you have a surface look or visual, must be of a definitive patent, defined patent, and it is inseparable from the articles to which it is applied and which cannot exist alone. So design must be something new, it must be original, and it must give some ornamental look or visual ornamental characteristics to the objects. What are the silent features? Again, there are 5, almost same. Patentee need not to pay the maintenance fee, while there we have to pay the maintenance fees for the renewals and other things. It is mandatory in intellectual patents, while in design patent, it's not mandatory. The ornamental exterior means surface part of an invention is protected, not to any of its functional part. it doesn't protect the functionality of that. It protects the visual things. Visually, he cannot make that. Functionally, he can make. So that is a loophole there. Then a design and utility patent can be granted to a patentee if he desires for both functional as well as the ornamental. If patentee desired, then he can add that characteristics. Design patent can be granted to a design. A design can be granted to a design patent and can also be protected by trademark. If it is some different shape or something else, then we can go with trademark protection also. So somewhere design and trademark are similar in some characteristics. If a design consists of exterior ornamentation only, it must be shown in the drawing. It must be specifically shown in the drawing as applicable to the relevant object or item. Then plant patent. What is it? It's a new distinct invention or discovered asexually reproduced plant, including cultivated spots, mutants, hybrids, and newly found seedlings or seeds, other than a tuber propagated plants or a plant found in an uncultivated state. So these are the legal words in the plant. So if you have something new, some distinctive, or some new hybrid mutant, but it should be produced by a sexual way, then it is a plant patent. Like a design patent, it doesn't require maintenance fee, and this plant patent is aimed to help to the farmers or the organizations which are related with the farming. So this that words algae or macro fungi are regarded as plant, but bacteria are not plant. Okay, so when we have a plant product, this patent, this is the important things. So there are some exemptions and so many things. There are so many loopholes also in plant patent designs. So government or authorities needs some details in that, but it is a natural thing, so it's very difficult to organize that things. So that are the hurdles to the organizers. Then plant variety patent, like plant. So it's also legal protections given to help the farmers and so many peoples. It describes so many things. I'm not going into detail, but you see the word plant variety patent and plant patents. What are the other categories? Defense publications, DEF. Defensive publications, DEF, and a reissue patent. So these are the new things, and they are approved by the statutory agencies. Now, what are the three important characteristics or conditions to be observed or to be satisfied by the invention to make it patentable? So what three things are required? First is novelty. What is novelty? That we seen at least one aspect must be new. One characteristic should be new, one function should be new, one application should be new, or something else, non-obvious. There should be some inventing steps in that, and applicability industrial applicability or usefulness. So these three things are important. In US patent, they use the word usefulness and just a minute, sorry. In European, in place of useful, they use applicability part. So that is the difference. Similarly, non-obvious is replaced by inventory steps in European patent laws. Meaning are almost same that we seen in the first slide. What is patentability? How it can be? What things are required? I'm not going into depth of this slide. Why? Because it may take more than 10 minutes. Why? Because each point is important. Then let's see what is novelty. It is a quality of being different, something new, unusual, creative, some creativity in that. So it's a novelty. The invention must not be known before submitting the applications, patent applications, known by others. The inventor only knows that, or his team knows. If anyone from the public knows that, it is useless. That's not the novelty. It doesn't matter how, by whom, or where it is known or it is disclosed. By publications, by presentations, or by talk, telephonically, or by WhatsApp. If you say and use that and show that pictures, we lost the patentability part. So when you do your research work, don't disclose the important things to others. Don't make it public. Keep with you your guide or your team. It should not be in a public. Don't have a publications, don't have a presentations before filing. Partially you may have publication, partially not in that part, but partially again, the idea should not be made in public. So we have to take proper precautions before publications and before presentations if we want to publish it. So if it is known to anyone, novelty is lost. So keep this point. Second is inventiveness. What is non-obvious that we've seen? It is non-recognized, not evident, not easily seen, or not visual, or not understood by others. That is not obvious. And it is, this character is, it is inventive. The invention must involve the inventive steps. It must differ significantly from what is already known. If something is established and if we claim that it's a novelty, it is not the novelty. It is not the inventive steps. What is more, and the solution must not be evident to a person. If we patent or invent something, its solution should not be known to others. It cannot be made by others technically. If we have a process and something can copy it and do it, then it's okay. That cannot be. So try it best to keep the ideas and your work in the closest affinity or closest law. The combination of known methods or objects in new way are not patentable. Combinations of methods. Suppose I use method 1 and we have method 2. If we combine 2 and have something, that's not these things. But if we have some innovative step in that, then it can be. So what is innovative? That is inventive. What are the close or not obviousness? Why? Because it's one of the important things. And in first patent, in property column, Eric Leadbeater wrote that the patent protection is the cornerstone on which the pharmaceutical industry, I'm quoting this part because it is related with our pharmaceutical industry, tremendous investment in research and development rest. So our industry doing research in so many things, but what is the output? It should be inventive. That is the important point, the things. Now, third point is usefulness or applicability, industrial applicability. The invention must be of a technical nature, some technical property. It must have a technical effect and it must be reproducible. Anyone can make it and use it. So then and then it can be of applicable, right? Then and then it can be useful. So that's the things. I'm audible and is it okay? Everything going right, sir? Is it okay, sir?
Okay, sir. Audible, sir, and visible also, sir.
No, if there is some disturbance or something else, please have the things. Okay.
No, okay. No, sir. It's audible and clear, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now here, the words are, the invention must be of a technical nature. So what is meaning of technical nature? That I explained. What is technical effect? So that is also B. And what is reproducible? That is a C. So the invention which complies with the accepted law of physics, accepted law of physics. If it is not accepted law of physics, then it is not applicable. It must be tangible, such as objects or process, and not just a theory. I narrate it and do it, and that if it is of technical lawfulness, then and then it is of technical matter. Then what is technical effect? The invention must work and must have a solution, must solve in a technical way. What I invent, in which way I prepared, that should be repeated or can be done by others. So that is a technical effect of the invention. It should be of technical nature. So it must comply with some accepted law and it must have technical effect. Means it must be solved or can be solved by others. If it cannot be or not, it has no solution, it is useless. And third point is reproducibility. The result must be same each time the invention is made, used, and applied. So reproducibility, technical effect, and technical nature. So I request our PG and PhD students that sit with your data and then think on that, whether it has these three property. If it has, then I congratulate you. If it lacks any one of that, then try to have that by changing your formulation part or methodology part or some new things, and have these three things in your work. If you achieve this, I congratulate in advance. So have that ideas in your mind. Then what cannot be patented? So see your things and think on all these 21 points. I've written only 21. There are so many, but one is that it should not be impracticable. If it is frivolous, it is not patentable. If it is silly, if it is foolish, if it is idiot, or if it has no value or no importance, that cannot be patented. Second, it should not be against or contrary to the established law of nature, established natural laws. It should not be immoral. It must have morality to the public health and to the environment. This environment was added in 2005 amendments. Any idea, mere idea, is not patentable. But if it is practically possible, or if you can make it and remake it, then that idea can be converted into the patent. Any scientific formula cannot be patented. Any principal theory or abstract theory cannot be patented. Why? Because it is established and it is widely used and applied by people or public or by universe. I use the word universe. Why? Because if I file patent here and I want to use it in moon, can we do it? So it's a question of debate. New property or use of a known substance. See this is limitation to a researcher. If substance is known and we have a new use, it is useless. Why? Because substance is known. If we identify a new property, it goes in a scientific formula part or in a natural law, so it is not patentable. Mere combination or admixture of formulations or technical processes, not patentable. Mere arrangement or rearrangement of known devices functioning independently in a software or something, that is also not patentable. Treatment of human or animal methodology, including diagnosis tests, they are not patentable. I cannot patent a test for diabetics. Why? Because it is for the public part and it is there. You develop a methodology, that's a technical part. It's not a patent part. Then method of agriculture, horticulture or irrigation cannot be patented. Why? Because it is for the farmer and public interest. Any mathematical methods, business method, computer programs, all algorithm cannot be. So these are the points which we must keep in mind when we are inventing or we are doing our research. And from that, we can get a clue that what variation we can do or what change we can do and achieve a new things out of that. So have the things, keep all this in your mind and have. There is a big list of this and I summarized in the last. Then what is the structure of the patent document? Why? Because if you have some brief understanding, may take more time, brief understanding of the structure of the patent, then you can work, you can write it and you can prepare a notebook. Why? Because notebook is one of the evidence to have the patent protections. So structure of a patent, title of the invention. If we want to make patent of our research, then title must be of universal way. It should not be vague or something else. Then field of invention, what your invention covers. What is the background of the invention? What is the previous history of it and what are the hindrance of it? What are the limitation of it and how that limitation can be solved and what is the way and what I'm doing. So for that you need some backgrounds. Then objective of invention, why you do that? For what purpose? For what application that is? So that is the important thing. Then summarize your invention in 1 or 2 paragraphs. Then described in detail. Then brief description, summary of that descriptions and its drawing, some figures, some tables. Then give some examples. What are the specific advantages of your patent? Have that, and from that you write the claim. Claim are important things. And this is the basic structure. Then what does title should indicate or should cover? It must have broadest claim. Don't narrow your claim. Keep it in a border way. And at least as per the rule 7, at least there should be 50 character length in a title, at least 50 words. If it is of 2 words, then it may have so many meanings. So your title must indicate everything. So at least within that 50 words. Then technical fit. So definitions of the technological field, in which area you are working or what is that, whether it is a disintegration tablet, with this it is a some idea or that or that. So have the technical details and have clear-cut understanding with definition of all that. So definition of the technical field words. Then descriptions of the related art, research art, related work. You have to say, you have to put some examples that this is there and it is somewhat similar to me and what I'm making from that. So some related part we have to say, and that comes in the history also. Then description in general. So that is the third point. What does it have, that things and everything. So I'm not going into detail. Objectives, then summary of the inventions. So these are the important things which every student's researcher must keep in mind. Important things is claim. How claims should be written, that's the important things. And for that we have to go with the patent attorney, or we have to use some legal words, legal things. So legal boundaries are important things in the claim. So it's a claim important. And second, determine the scope of invention in the claim. If your claims doesn't indicate scopes and objective of your invention, then again that will be useless. And that is the weaker point of the patent. Then we have different types of the claims, and there are different formats of the claims, and that we have to go in depth after preliminary part. I'm not going to detail of that. So what is the claim format? Preamble and main body. So these are the 2 things in the claim. How to conduct a patent search? Prior art. That word is used by so many people. So you have to show some references, some patents on your work. And then you have to prove that your innovation is have patentability, having that 3 things, 3 important things, and one cannot infringe it if it is given protection to me. And this is a laboratory notebooks. Generally, our Indian students and Indian industry are lacking this point. Why? Because when we have some infringement and if they demand some documents by court or legal, we are not able to produce the notebook or the book in which we written the data of our research, and that data should be from first to the last, date wise or day wise or part wise. So we have to write a laboratory notebook. Every PG student must have the lab note for your PG work or your PhD work. And what are the key points to be kept while preparing that laboratory notebook? Have permanently bound pages. Pages should not be loose. Pages should not. Okay, thank you. Pages should not be loose. It should be bound. We have a notebook, and if they page, we have a page by stapler 1, 2, and some part of the page there, it is useless. Bound pages in a notebook, then it is a established standard laboratory notebook. And that pages should be numbered 1, 2, 3, so on, and it should be in sequence also. It must include entries without skipping pages. If I write my first observation on the second page and second observation on the third, 8th page, fourth observations on third page and so on. No, it should be in a sequence. It should not keep, we cannot keep empty pages in between and write other things. Give page number and go in a sequence way. Must contain regular dates and sign. What you need, have some counter signature of yourselves or of your guide before patenting your research. If you have a notebook, have that things. If it is without date and sign, it will be useless. So have that things. Entry with ideas or explanations with the related data. If we have data, sorry, just a minute. Then, if we have data, then what is the type or what does the data relates? It relates with which idea? What? So have that things. Not as such, we write a summary note and say, okay, this is my laboratory note. That's not. Have entries made in a permanent waterproof ink. It should not be by pencil. It should be by ink. It cannot be erased. It should not be erased by others or cannot be replaced by you. If I write with pencil, I may erase it and rewrite it. So that's not the legal laboratory notebook. It must clearly indicate any possible corrections. Sometimes in results, when we are taking that absorbance, I seen 8.23, but while measuring, sometimes instruments deviates, it makes 822. So make corrections and have your countersign there with strike throats and clear rewriting of the correct entry. If you erase it, rewrite it, check it, then have the things, okay? And have countersign everywhere. When there is correction, you must have countersign and date. So don't disclose your area of research to others with your guide or with your team. take measures to protect your confidentiality of the work. So these are the points you should keep if you want to go with the patent. And then some steps that are to be observed during patent. So it is 11, 12, 20. I'm not going into detail of that. Somewhat they are same. And when we write the draft, then and then they are required. So in the initial part, that's not so. I'm not going into detail. Why? Because we have trademark and copyright introductory of both for you peoples. What is a trademark? So regarding patent, what we have to see, what a researcher or PG or PhD student, you must have a laboratory notebook with bound pages, numbering and writing date wise in a sequence with your signature. So that's the laboratory part. What your work must have, your work must have novelty, inventiveness and applicability. So that is summary of the patent part. Now we'll go with the trademark. What is a trademark? It is any word, any phrase, any symbol, any design, any sound or audio, any color or non-functional appearance, any non-functional appearance of an article which identifies the source of goods and differentiate it or distinguishes that source from the others. If we have two things and they are same, that cannot be trademark. There should be some difference in the above 9 to 11 points. Words, phrase, symbol, or so on. Okay, so that things keep. Then a service book, then a tradeness. These are the words related with the trademark. Trademark is typically a name, word, phrase, logo, symbol, design, or image, or combination of all these. What is a trademark? Combination of name and words, name and phrase, and so on things. So that is a trademark. There is also a range of non-conventional trademarks comprising the marks which doesn't fall into the standard categories. So if they doesn't fall, there are non-conventional trademarks and that are questionable by the authorities. The owner of the registered trademark may commence the legal proceeding for trademark misuse, infringement to prevent unauthorized use of the trademark. So trademark registered authority or person has the right to prevent them. A registered mark, okay, that's okay, it is a repetition part, but some points are remained. A service, when a trademark is used in relation to a service rather than the product, it may sometimes be called, said as a service mark. So I included that service mark here. Why? Because somewhat it is similar to trademark. Some service authorities like that tomatoes and some dining or some, they are providing some services of dining. So their services as well their product, that may be a trademark. So sometimes they resemble, sometimes there is confusion there. So Service mark is somewhat related there with the trademark, which is of protection and which is of not protections. If trademark is of generic nature, it is not protected. If it is some fanciful, some fancy things, some good arbitrary, good descriptive, then it may have strongest or weakest depends on their things. So strongest protection, weakest protection and no protections. What are arbitrary and what are descriptive? Arbitrary or fanciful marks, Kodak win. The symbol is different. It was different at that. Then Ness copy, they have different trademark. So this is example of the arbitrary mark, arbitrary trademark. Then descriptive trademark. Some computer store names, magazine names. So Reader's Digest and Readers. So you use this word and make a descriptive trademark. Some fruit cooler or fruit flavored semi-frozen beverages, some vision centers, etc., etc. Some optic stores, even now mall also, they have their trademark name. So that field is open, have your mind, have something novel and have that design as a trademark. Why registration of trademark is essential? Why we have to bother for the registrations? What benefits we have? We have registration globally and registration country-wise or foreign or federal. So they say as a federal and that. So each has their distinct advantages. So it's a valuable asset. It's a global right. Federal right. It limits the grounds for challenges for functionality or genericness or for any fraud. Owners of the mark have some presumed power for that in some constructive notice. So these are the benefits by registrations. Then what are the functions of the trademark? It identifies the goods or services at its origin. So trademark must identify which type of the product it is, which type of service it is, and who is origin of that. With that, it guarantees its unchanged quality, and that is desirable, that is essential everywhere. It advertises the goods and services. It's one of the way of advertisement. It creates value, image, and brand name of the service or the goods by the registered trademark persons or companies. What is the duration? Generally 10 years. And if we don't use continuously for 5 years, then it is useless. Then the registration is cancelled. So duration is 10 years. If within 10 years I use it, advertisement and have that things in first year, and after 5 years again I'm using it, it is useless. You have to continuously use it in market. So that was something for the trademark. Now what is copyright? It protects the original work of authorship that are fixed in any tangible form, any legal form, etc. The copyright owner have or the team have the exclusive right for what? To reproduce, to publish, to distribute, to display in public, to create derivative work, somewhat deviation and have the things, and perform in presence of public. Suppose we have sound trademark or that, so we can perform in a public. So these are the right given to the owner of the copywriter. Which works can be protected by copyright? Literary work. Innovative, your own literary work can be copyright. So my thesis or my research paper, whatever that's musical work, including any accompanying musical work with words, then dramatic work with some music. Suppose I have some dance with music that can have a copyright. Then choreographic work. Nowadays we have so many, some graphic work, some pictorial work, etc., etc. Some motion pictures, some audio visual, some sound recording, and architectural works are copyrighted. But that should be registered by you. Without registration, that is not possible. Suppose I prepare a design of my college or university and copyright it, then no one can copy it or have the same things. So copyright prevents them. What cannot be protected by copyright? Copyright doesn't protect the underlying idea or principle. If you use natural principles and have copyright of that, that protection cannot be. As for examples, standard calendars, height, weight charts. If I prepare a weight charts in a different design, that is not copyright, but it's a public parts, etc. Then who is the owner of the copyright? The copyright in a work of authorship become the property of the owner who created it, or his team who worked it, or any legal person, or any he hired for working of that things, and some specially commissioned work or some orders by authorities. So that can be copyright ownership by the persons. These are the examples of the material that have or that can have, may have copyright protections. Web content can be copyrighted, and we see that trademark symbol there. Product packaging. If we have a different type packaging with design and so many things, then it is. Advertisement, promotional materials, operational manuals, company proposals, training manuals, softwares, graphics, movies, photographs, drawings, articles, audio visuals, and there is a list of 213. I have taken only few important where we will be. So this may be protected by copyright if we do it. Then some important points which are again to be kept. Some person copy my patent, so it's an infringement. He misuses it, uses it for himself without giving any royalty or something, or by informing me without. So direct infringement. Second is infringement through doctoring of the equivalence, you make exactly same with some difference. So that is by legal, the difference, what is difference? That's the important thing, that level of difference, the important things. Then indirect infringement or induced infringement. So these are the legal words, and we are not the authority for that. But at least when we write a patent or copyright or trademarks, we have that things. At least what is this? That why? How people will copy that? That we must have in our mind. What is a defensive patent and what is an offensive patent? That you must have some ideas. What are the different type of licensing methods for the patent? In licensing, out licensing, cross licensing. Why? Because if you want to generate some revenue from your patent, you must know the methods. And that's some words which are related with that, that should not be in the patent. Otherwise, it may not be prosecution for infringement. What most of the common men like I and you make mistake in that. First mistake, filing the patent application too late. I work my PhD work in 1991, and if I want to patent it today, it is too late. So that is a mistake. You have to make the applications within some period. That period is not given by authorities, but within that, so many people may have copied it, may have used it, and then you are patenting. So it is useless. So patent must have instant applications. And sometimes when we are working, we are sending the prior applications. So it should not be too late. That is first mistake. There should not be public disclosure. I should not speak that on phone. Why? Because phone can be recorded. By WhatsApp. Why? Because it can be that visual or that audio or video can be recorded. So it's a premature disclosure of my work in public. Third, this is important. Why? Because we pharmacy people doesn't know too much of the claim. And for that, we have to go with the attorney, patent attorney. Drafting patent that are too narrow. Your research, what will be its outcome in future, what it will be used in future, that should be in the claim. If you don't know it and do not write it or don't imagine it, then that is your fault. So claim must be with thorough detail, not too narrow, too narrow. Not seeking appropriate IP counsel. You must have appropriate patent office where you have to register. And who is the proper person? Then patent infringement by willfulness exposure. I'm doing my research, you are doing your research and saying by raising your collar that I did this thing. So that is an exposure in public. That is a common mistake. And it may be dangerous to you in filing the patents. Then one of the most things, don't make your work public. Don't represent it in a full form. Don't have presentations in public. Okay, and don't publish it. First file a patent and then have the everything. So that ends, and in the time I want to complete before that things in what I seen at CHIPS at these institutes, there is a good teamwork by the principal and his faculty and even some students also, PG students and PhD students who made so many mates in past conferences and have their exposure to me also and discuss with me. So have a good team at CHIPS and hence we have success. And hence CHIPS have success. Their principal, they replaced I with we. And if anyone replaced I with we, then definitely we all pharmacy people, pharma fatality will replace illness with wellness. If we replace first I with we, it becomes wellness. Illness becomes wellness. And that's the motive at our organizations. One more thing, I'm responsible what I said, but I'm not responsible what you understand from my presentations. My intention is not to criticize in any examples, any examples with name or some these. If feeling of anyone is hurts, I hope you take apology for that. Please pardon me. This is the man who is my mentor, my guide, my guru, and more than. When I joined at LM College of Pharmacy in 1999, this hard disk was totally blank. What is today? Due to his effort, due to his guidance, his support at PG, PhD, at demonstratorship, at lecturership, at associate professor, at dean, and at in charge VC somewhere. I'm very much thankful to my late respected professor, and I acknowledge why, because what I presented, that is part of him, what he taught me. These are my appellations. I was at LM College of Pharmacy for more than 28 years. I was at SUSHA as a founder, principal, and dean and professor. I was at DD University to start the faculty in the initial 4 years. I was at Science Institutes. I was at Sarda Pharmacy College, and I was at Paru. And presently today, I joined as Dean School of Pharmacy, Indrasal University. I'm very much thankful to the CHIPS authority, principal sir, my friends, and one of my well-wisher and faculty members for giving this chance. I'm ready for any type of help to CHIPS, but I need only 1 or 2 hours, not 1 or 2 days, sir. I'm very much thankful to you that you had given me 2 to 3 days for these preparations. I'm ready to help at any time for any guidance or for any supports.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, and I invite questions and my email address. Those participants, my PG students, our PG or PhD students who are interested in patents and have some advice or some suggestions, some guideline, they may contact by principal through or your professor through professor, sir. My email address is drldpatel@yahoo.com. All simple words, small letters, drldpatel@yahoo.com. You can contact me, but with permission of your teachers or principals. Thank you all. Thank you once again. And one more principle. Have learned, digest, and perform or practice principle in your mind. And that is my name, LDP. And I wish you best of luck to all of you and invite the questions. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. for your very informative and very excellent session on the
Sir, just a minute. I'm ending the show and I'm just a minute. I'm coming with the things. Okay, where I can have. I have to make. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So definitely, sir, we will share your mail ID to all our participants, sir, who have any queries or any doubts or any assistance from your side regarding these patents or any information, sir. Definitely, we will share with all the participants, sir. And so with this session, I sincerely thank you, sir, for sharing your knowledge and expertise on the field of intellectual property rights and giving a very valuable session to all our participants, sir. And hope that all the participants has acquired a very good knowledge regarding these intellectual property rights, especially various types of patents, how to file a patent, what are the differences between the trademarks, etc., for this from this valuable session, sir. And in future also, we will be in touch with you, sir, for organizing such type of webinars and guest lectures to all our participants, sir.
Sure,
And,
sure, sir. I'm with you, but give me at least 2 to 3 hours.
Sure,
For
sir.
that.
Definitely, sir.
Why? Because
As
sometimes I may be in a meeting. Why? Because as a dean or something else, as a PCI inspectors or whatever that's. So I need
Sure,
some
sir.
time at least. So have that things. If I'm free and I have time, I will be with you within no time. Thank you, sir.
Sure, sir. Definitely, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. From our and on behalf of the Chaebol Hanuman Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, and also on behalf of AICT New Delhi and Ministry of Education Innovation Council, we sincerely thank to Professor L.D. Patel, sir, for being for sharing his knowledge on this impact lecture series in our session. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. I'm leaving.
Yes, sir. Okay,
Why?
sir. Sure.
Because some people are waiting for me.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir.